Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome. Guys, today we're going to talk about New Orleans and the spiritual playground. Like, I know we all go there for fun. The people that's not from there, we go there to have a good time. We get our drinks. We're out there dancing and this and that. But guys, let me tell you, that place is so low vibrational, and then you're probably already at a low, especially if you're out there drinking. But they say don't let people touch you. They do energy swapping. There's spirits everywhere. You need to respect that. Respect the pace, the space, everything there. Like, you can't play around with those energies, guys. Don't be getting voodoo readings. Don't be bringing shit home. You go into this little statue place, you bring it home. They say you don't know what the hell you bringing back with you. Leave that stuff where it is. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody in New Orleans, anybody that's from there. But these are New Orleans people telling you, when you come here, you better know what you're doing. You better know where you at. They say you can be walking down one street and end up somewhere else. So guys, if you planning on going to New Orleans, take God with you. Take your cross, your Bible, everything else. Don't let nobody touch you. Don't be drinking all those drinks. Don't be getting tore up from the floor up to where you can't even get up. And all I know is I've been to New Orleans one time, and after I just saw what I saw, because I just went down a rabbit hole, I'm not taking my black ass there again. No, and it's under sea level. So sorry, New Orleans. I love all your food. I will continue to order and get my stuff freeze dried to the house, and pay a little bit of money for it because I love those clams and the oysters. And I do, guys. I get that stuff shipped. I do at least once or twice a year because it's expensive. But it's from Drago's. So if you're gonna get it from Drago's, guys. It's really good. But I'm never going back to New Orleans. I'm not. Thank you. Goodbye. All right, guys. Watch these videos, and remember, I told you first.
Y'all better be careful when visiting New Orleans. I told y'all once, and I'm gonna tell y'all again. Please be very mindful, especially downtown on Bourbon, the French Quarters, and all these popular tourist attractions. Okay. Think it's a game. So recently there's this video of this man downtown enjoying, and it's this older guy that come up to him, and he's basically like trying to make him tap his elbow, y'all. And I'm talking about they're literally directly in front of each other, like elbow to elbow. Like, the old man could have easily did it himself, but no, he insisted that the man do it. And a lot of people believe that he was trying to do a destiny swap with him. And y'all think it's all fun and cute because, you're out having a good time, you're drinking, and for the most part, people are intoxicated when they're downtown. So that's why it's so easy for other people to basically take advantage of you while you're down there. This place is very spiritual, and this stuff gets very deep. I'm not saying that everybody in NOLA that does voodoo or practice this type of magic are evil and do it for evil intentions, but there are people that do it for evil intentions. I even seen this video of this Caucasian boy that went downtown, and he was talking to this voodoo practitioner, and she took a piece of his hair, and he was just kiki and thought it was just so funny. Okay, it ain't gonna be funny when you wake up a frog, for real. But like, all jokes aside, y'all, the energy in New Orleans is very heavy. And some people aren't that spiritual, and some people can't see these things. Some people can literally feel it, but I'm telling y'all, it gets real. And it's not just like this just in New Orleans. It's like that in Savannah, Georgia too. I used to live down there, and I'm telling y'all, you can feel the energy downtown. But yeah, if y'all not busy, y'all need to go look up that video of that man literally, like, I'm talking about, he was straight up begging him to tap his elbow so he could read his fortune. Why you want to read my future and stuff so bad? Like I said, they were literally like right beside each other. He could have did it himself, but no, it wouldn't work. The other dude had to have done it. And luckily he didn't do it, because he would have woke up as the old man would have woke up as him. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. And if y'all ever experienced anything crazy.
Give y'all the warning before you come to the city of New Orleans for Mardi Gras, you heard me? Everything is sectioned off. Don't be all back there in Bourbon, French Quarters, looking for something, and then you run into something else, you heard me? Because that's how it is in the city. We got witches over here, we got your vampires over there, we got your werewolves over there, rainbows over there, this over here, you heard me? Like, everything is sectioned off, so it's a place of culture, baby. Don't come over there and you thinking you just about to be dancing, you heard me, drinking your little drink, you heard me, and then next thing you know, you run into something crazy. You better be aware, baby. It's like vortexes down there. Quantum physics is happening down there. You go in one spot and you wound up in the other, you heard me? Mirror dimensions is happening down there. Be careful, bro. Stop thinking everything is cute and, you feel me? Don't come out down here with all that. I promise you, it's gonna be some problems.
Y'all better be careful when visiting New Orleans. I told y'all once, and I'm gonna tell y'all again. Please be very mindful, especially downtown on Bourbon, the French Quarters, and all these popular tourist attractions. Okay, think it's a game. So recently there's this video of this man downtown enjoying, and it's this older guy that come up to him, and he's basically like trying to make him tap his elbow, y'all. And I'm talking about they're literally directly in front of each other, like elbow to elbow. Like the old man could have easily did it himself, but no, he insisted that the man do it. And a lot of people believe that he was trying to do a destiny swap with him. And y'all think it's all fun and cute because, you know, you're out having a good time, you're drinking, and for the most part, people are intoxicated when they're downtown. So that's why it's so easy for other people to basically take advantage of you while you're down there. This place is very spiritual, and this stuff gets very deep. Now, I'm not saying that everybody in NOLA that does voodoo or practice this type of magic are evil and do it for evil intentions, but there are people that do it for evil intentions. I even seen this video of this Caucasian boy that went downtown and he was talking to this voodoo practitioner, and she took a piece of his hair and he was just kiki and thought it was just so funny. Okay, it ain't gonna be funny when you wake up a frog for real. But like, all jokes aside, y'all, the energy in New Orleans is very heavy. And some people aren't that spiritual, and some people can't see these things. Some people can literally feel it, but I'm telling y'all, it gets real. And it's not just like this just in New Orleans. It's like that in Savannah, Georgia too. I used to live down there, and I'm telling y'all, you can feel the energy downtown. But yeah, if y'all not busy, y'all need to go look up that video of that man literally, like I'm talking about, he was straight up begging him to tap his elbow so he could read his fortune. Why you want to read my future and stuff so bad? Like I said, they were literally like right beside each other. He could have did it himself, but no, it wouldn't work. The other dude had to have done it. And luckily he didn't do it, because he would have woke up as the old man would have woke up as him. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. And if y'all ever experienced anything crazy and some of y'all crazy stories in New Orleans, I would love to hear about them.
My first time visiting New Orleans almost ruined every chance of me ever coming back. Let me explain. My wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, let me know that she was going on a business trip to New Orleans. And she said, well, technically, like, if you just take off some time and book a flight, you can just come with me. The company already paid for the room. So we was just thinking, okay, we got us a little vacation book. We really didn't do a whole lot of research on the city. All she knew is she wanted to go see the Garden District and she wanted to get a hand grenade. So when we got to the city, we going down Canal Street, we going down Bourbon and all of that. We visiting just the normal tourist places. We went to the casino, racked up. We hit a couple bars on Bourbon. She had her a hand grenade, I had me one. And if you have ever had a hand grenade, you know it gets you right. So it hadn't got late at night and we were both feeling a little buzz, but you know, not too spaced out. But we were getting close to the end of our trip. So she said, okay, I want to take this night and I want to go visit the Garden District before we go home. So we started asking people around the city, like, how do we get to the Garden District? We just trying to get there tonight before we have to go home. They told us, okay, you can't take one of the rail cars, because we had been taking the rail cars the whole time we was there. But they said, for this, you got to get on one of the buses and you got to take this bus. Then they're gonna take you to the Garden District and you just get off on the right bus stop. I am not ashamed to say I had never really used public transportation up to that point. But if you have never used public transportation before, it is confusing. And you have to be an adult and know which stop to get off on, because ain't nobody finna tell you, okay, this is your stop. So we got off on the wrong bus stop. They just dropped us off in the middle of a neighborhood. It was folks standing around smoking. So I looked on my phone to see when the next bus was gonna come, and I was like, oh, okay, we got about a good 30 minutes before the next bus comes. So we just took the time. It wasn't like the neighborhood was bad, so we just walked around the neighborhood that we were in and said, we just gonna walk a little bit because it's sketchy people hanging around here, but then we're gonna come back before the bus gets here. So we walked down the street a little ways and we make a left, and there's some big, beautiful houses out there. But on the other side of the road, there was just this long wall. And I'm asking myself, like, I wonder what this long wall is. I would eventually find out that it's the cemetery, just in the middle of the neighborhood, just the cemetery, which people who live in New Orleans and anybody who visits know that's not something that's abnormal for them. So we just like, oh, okay, bet. It's the cemetery. Okay, we'll just leave the cemetery alone, let it have its space, and we're gonna walk on this side of the road. But apparently the cemetery did not agree with this statement, so it sent somebody to, keep an eye on us. Because as we were walking down the sidewalk, minding our business, we just hear footsteps. So I quickly turn around and see, like, who's following us. Ain't nobody there. So we speed up a little ways because we don't know. We think maybe they just trying to hide, but they trying to sneak up on us. Maybe it's one of the sketchy guys that was at the bus stop. So we walking down a little bit more. We still hear the footsteps pick up. Turn around again. Nobody is there. At this point, we have to make a conscious decision, like, do we keep walking deeper into this neighborhood, or do we turn around now and go back to the bus stop and just wait? We decided, okay, we're going to go back to the bus stop and we're going to wait. But to do that, we had to walk past the footsteps. So we are walking past these footsteps. I got my camera light on. She got her phone light on. And we just checking behind trees and checking behind buildings and everything, trying to see, is there somebody who's just hiding? We ain't find nobody. And thank God we made it back to the bus stop. We hopped back on the bus and we found out that we were, in fact, not in the Garden District. So if you ever decide to visit New Orleans, please be careful, especially around those cemeteries. Make sure you have a map of the city. If there's anywhere you want to go, make sure you know where you're going before you get there. Either way, I love you, New Orleans. I still continue to visit y'all, even though the last time we went, somebody tried to put a curse on my baby. But never mind that. I love y'all. The food is delicious.
Listen, y'all. When I say y'all, I'm talking to the people that are potentially going to visit the city of New Orleans. Now, I'm not trying to detour anyone. I'm just trying to make sure that y'all are in touch with either a religious side or a spiritual side of yourself. And to be very cognizant of that when you come into the city of New Orleans. Because when you come to the city of New Orleans, you are coming down to let it all hang out, right? So you already know you're in the low vibrational. You are coming to embrace the lower vibrational of yourself as a spiritual or religious human being. Listen, the whole aspect of visiting New Orleans is to come let it all hang out, right? You're coming down here to drink yourself into a stupor. You're coming down here to, indulge in things that you wouldn't normally indulge in. You know what I'm saying? You're letting some steam off, in other words, right? Which I'm not judging nobody, you know what I'm saying? Everybody has things that they're not proud of doing, and some people embrace it, some people don't. Some people not scared to embrace their lower self, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to judge, I'm not God, you know what I'm saying? But what I am going to tell you is, I've seen a lot of people come get fully immersed in the city of New Orleans and get stuck down here. You know what I'm saying? It's bad juju on the city. You know what I'm saying? It's an aura and a dark cloud over the city. It's a lot of unjust slayings that happen in the city of New Orleans. I'm pretty sure y'all heard of us being the unalive capital. I can't say what I really want to say because of, TikTok's guidelines, which is this is for entertainment purposes only. If you know, you know, right? But it's a lot of course, voodoo going on. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of spirits that haven't moved on to the higher realms, low vibrational spirits that haven't moved on, that move through the city of New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Even when they take you on these creepy tours that they have in the French Quarter, when they take you, it's like a horror attraction. You know what I'm saying? But in actuality, it's actually sad that a lot of these, low vibrational people have passed on and they haven't moving into the light yet. You know what I'm saying? And that puts another dark cloud on top of a dark cloud. Like the city is just based on a lot of low vibrational things. I already told y'all in a previous video, previous videos on my on this page, if you haven't watched it, the true meaning of Mardi Gras and the dark meaning that it does have, that is actually proven by the pagan gods that are on the float. You know what I'm saying? That this thing is the city is just not a great place to be. You know what I'm saying? And you need to be cognizant of that. You know what I'm saying? When you visit it, because like I said, I've seen a lot of people come, either they move down here or they visit down here and they get stuck. They get fully immersed into what the city has to offer, and they get stuck down here. They run on a string of bad luck, a string of bad decisions, and they can't explain why they can't get back home. And things just add up and add up. Some people has visited the city of New Orleans and left in an unalive bag. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a great place to visit. And I would tell you, you need to be prayed up before you come down here. You need to be fully prayed up, or you need to be fully into your spiritual side to where you can see these things if you're coming down here. It's not a game, y'all. This is not to scare anybody from coming down here. Now, New Orleans is a great city to visit if you're in a culture and you know how to handle yourself and you know how to say enough is enough with the low vibrational activities, and you keep things to, a moderate, keep things, don't be being glutton. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know the city encourages that, you know what I'm saying? They like to tell y'all, oh, just come down here and get drunk and all of that. Well, what do you do when you get drunk? You make stupid decisions. You know what I'm saying? You get wound up in situations that you would never put yourself in if you was at home. And a lot of these people get stuck down here, man, and it's sad. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling y'all, man, I watch people come down here and turn into monsters. Some would say turned into something that they never would have turned into had they would have never visited. Some people wish they never came to the city of New Orleans, and they would have never been in the positions that they're in now. So I'm not gonna make this video super long. You know what I'm saying? People with attention spans are already short, so just break it down in bullet points what I said, and don't get caught up, man. Everything that glitter ain't gold. You know what I'm saying? And you don't wanna celebrate too much and be in the low vibrational activities that this city promotes. The government down here in the city of New Orleans is corrupt. So that's not gonna work in your favor, especially as a melanated human. You know what I'm saying? The law definitely ain't gonna work in your favor. It's racism down here. We got some of the oldest laws down here, you know what I'm saying, that'll get you jammed up and get you put in prison behind all of the bad juju that's going on with the politics and all of this stuff. Everybody is crumb snatching in politics, you know what I'm saying? They're not investing back into the city for anything positive, you know what I'm saying? So just take that, take it with a grain of salt if you want, you know what I'm saying? But just don't take nobody from New Orleans didn't warn you about what can happen. Some people can attest to this. Some people, definitely people in New Orleans can attest to this, about how this city can suck you in. You know what I'm saying? How this city can chew you up and spit you out. And some people have been victims of this city that made it out by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just that on that. I'm at work and, I'm trying to get this video out. So it is what it is. Y'all have a good day.
First off, I want to say I want to thank y'all because I did not expect that video to blow up like it did. Secondly, like this comment is saying, yes, some people can literally tap your shoulder while you're talking to them. They can shake your hand or they can elbow bump you to take your energy. But that's not always the case. Some people in the comments were very scared that during COVID, when people were bumping elbows, it was just automatically they were swapping with all of those people. No, intention very much matters. As I mentioned in the last video, yes, this person was greedily, you could physically see them, nearly drooling so that this person could bump their elbows. And yes, a lot of people were saying, oh, what if he did it with the person that was worse off than him? That's not the case. Usually these people know. They can spiritually see the path that you're on, and that's why they want it. They're not trying to tell you your future. They know your future, and that's why they're trying to steal it. Also, even in a mundane sense, yes, it's okay to set boundaries. You can tell someone, no, I don't want to shake your hand. No, I don't want to touch you. No, you cannot touch me. It's okay. The point is you have to be spiritually protected at all times, and you have to know what to look for and what to defend against, and that's why I'm here. I don't even like being touched, so if someone is tapping me, even if they tap me, I get irritated. So I let everyone know beforehand, and I don't shake hands and stuff like that unless I actually really trust the person. I don't hug people, none of that. I'll give you a little bow of my head, and that's about it. But Yeah, you have to know what to look for in order to defend against it. And that's why I'm trying to teach people. But the comments were crazy. But good luck out there, and the more you know. Follow me for more witch tips.
Hey, my babies, going to Mardi Gras, went to Mardi Gras, going there, leaving, whatever you did for Mardi Gras. Listen, if you've been down in New Orleans, we need to talk. I've been seeing these TikToks, and I need y'all to listen very carefully. Y'all want to go on these tours. When y'all come out here as tourists to Marie Laveau grave, do not do stuff like that. Y'all opening yourself up to some spirits, some things y'all do not know about. Y'all need to stop this. I get it. It's all intriguing. It's all great. So somebody end up missing, or somebody end up leaving Louisiana with something they can't get rid of. And let me tell you something. You will not know it till it's a little too late. Your life done been screwed up, whatever. Let me just say this. Y'all going down there excited. Oh, I want people to read my palm. Y'all better stop letting people touch y'all. Energies transfer. Believe me, energies will transfer. These things y'all buying that you be like, oh, that's so cute. You do not know that things transfer into objects as well, okay? And I'm being very honest with y'all. I believe in God. I really am into my faith, but I don't need to tell y'all this. Y'all out here talking about I'm visiting this. So let me tell you this story. Now I need y'all to listen to this. So I've been to New Orleans a lot of times. So this is my first experience down there I can remember. So I went to New Orleans for an event, and I was walking. And usually I don't walk by myself, but then I just said, look, I'm old enough to walk. I know what I'm doing. So I'm walking, and put in mind, I know the streets of New Orleans. This is the first time I've been out by myself. I find myself walking, and I'm not understanding why I'm walking. Like, I know where I'm going. I'm trying to go to Cafe Du Monde. Somehow I end up, and I see grave sites. I have no clue why I've ended up there, how I got there. And it's a long way from my hotel. Now, I knew where I was going, y'all. I really did. I see people walking the other way. So I'm on this side of the street, and this guy was like, baby, you might not want to walk that way. I see the graveyard, and I'm like, man, I'm in a ward. Okay. So I'm feeling like, okay, as I go close, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't hear. I hear the guy screaming, hey, come this way. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't listen to this man telling me to come this way. But something about me keep walking, I didn't understand. He kept distracting me. So I walked on. I get to the end of the street. There is no man there. There is absolutely no man there. So I get back, and I look, and I'm in a street full of people. I see no man. Okay? Somehow I end up on a main street going. I see people. I'm walking, and I'm in the French Quarter, and I have no clue. I sit there and I think about it, like, why would I even go to a graveyard? Why would I even venture off my path knowing it's New Orleans? I know it's dangerous. So this is why I'm telling you, like, you do not know. Don't go out there by yourselves. Don't go alone. Now, I never seen this man again, and I barely saw his face. It was a shadow. And he kept saying, come this way, ma'am. You don't need to go that way. I absolutely, when I go to New Orleans, I have on my rosary beads. I really do. And they have been blessed by the priest, and I put them on. Most times when I'm walking the street, I want to be protected. Y'all have to be careful out there. Y'all see these palm readers asking y'all to read y'all palm for free? Baby, some of that stuff ain't free. Do not let these people touch you. I am telling y'all this so y'all own good. Some people have come back saying, oh, all this stuff happened after I went to New Orleans. Yeah, but what did you do? See, y'all messing with things y'all don't know. Y'all want to go to voodoo shops. Y'all want to see Mary Laveau's grave. Y'all want to go to these things. But guess what? The spirit world is real too down here. They're like, oh, I don't believe in it, so it won't happen to me. Yeah, because something in a movie told you if you didn't believe in it, it couldn't affect you. A movie? Are you serious? I'm not saying we all don't practice voodoo out here. We really don't. But you gotta be careful. Some of these people's spirits ain't right. And y'all out here going to these people. I have seen people say, well, I'm gonna go out here and let them see what they can do for me. I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I'm gonna warn y'all about this. Everything come with a price, my babies. Anything that you giving, you have to give something up. Y'all signing contracts y'all don't even understand. So be careful out here, babies. All right? Be safe for Mardi Gras. Pray y'all bring those spirits back with you, or something you can't get rid of, because y'all out here wanting to be tourists. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy your stay. Be safe. I mean, Mardi Gras is fun, but please be safe. All right.
Let's talk about it. So I've been seeing a lot of people on social media talking about, you know, people need to be careful when they're visiting New Orleans during Mardi Gras. And yeah, you really do. Y'all just don't realize New Orleans, especially New Orleans, is like a spiritual playground, y'all. Y'all have to realize, like, just because y'all don't see this stuff on a regular, especially people that's not from that area, from the city and stuff like that, just because y'all don't see this stuff or hear about this stuff on a regular does not mean it is not true, y'all. I'm telling y'all, New Orleans is like a spiritual playground. And I get it, when you go to Mardi Gras, you're there to have a good time. You're there for the whole experience. You want to come back, you want to bring souvenirs, you want to try the new foods, you want to let any random person read your palms and record it, and, you know, for the whole aesthetic. But sometimes you just gotta think before you go into these knick-knack shops and you buying all these different objects. Y'all don't know what these objects have connected to them, y'all. And I get it, you know, sometimes y'all like, just live. Like, it's not that serious, but it is that serious when you go back home and it's something attached to you, or you don't know what's going on and why things are. It's some evil people in this world. And am I saying that all these people in New Orleans are evil? No. It's so many good people in New Orleans. And I'm not saying that all voodoo is bad. I'm not very, very educated on voodoo, but I do know voodoo isn't the same. All voodoo is different. There's so many different type of voodoos. And that's just something that I don't want any type of connection with. But when y'all going down there and y'all going in all these different knick-knack shops, bringing home all these different objects that y'all don't know nothing about just because it's cute, these little dolls and antiques, and like I said, letting people read your palms and getting your energy, it's crazy. I've been seeing all type of people talk about how they've been seeing these like vampire-like things, and I've heard a few different stories about the vampires in New Orleans and stuff like that, and they're not what you think, like the vampires with fangs and all that. It's the complete opposite of what you see on TV. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, if you see it on TV or you hear some type of creature on TV, it is real. Most of the time, it's real. They didn't just come up with these ideas out of nowhere. But it's not exactly what you think. It's not like how it is on TV. But that's for another topic. If y'all want me to talk about like the vampires, real vampires, then I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, y'all gotta be careful. New Orleans is like one of the most haunted places in the world. Home to Madame Laurie Laveau, the Voodoo Queen. Home to Madame Latterie. She is one of the most evil slave owners ever known to man. Like, this place has so much history, from all the different slaves coming there and bringing all their traditions and customs and religion to this one town. It's filled with so much history and pain and magic, y'all. And this stuff is real. Like I said, just because we don't learn about it that much here where we are does not mean it's not real. But if I was to go, best believe I'm gonna be prayed up the whole time, y'all. I feel like it's a place that everybody needs to visit. And I get it's fascinating, and I get a lot of this stuff is very interesting. But be careful when you're going on these ghost tours and these different graveyards and bringing back all these different energies and stuff like that. Because just because you haven't seen it does not mean it's not real. Because I promise you that New Orleans is just a place that I don't want to mess with.
Before I have to go out and start my day in this terrible weather, I need to tell you guys that not only can you destiny swap by touching elbows, be mindful of who hand you shake. Auntie told you.
So I got several people asking me about the situation in New Orleans, about the elbow bump. And it's nothing new. Honestly, it's nothing new. Yes, it was a form of him attempting to destiny swap with the young man. See, the spirit needs permission to destiny swap. It needs permission to attach to you. And that was him asking for permission. Now, I'm glad that man knew better. I'm glad, because it wasn't going to end well for him if he did that. New Orleans raised me. I was always taught, do not shake hands. Do not bump fists. Do not let somebody hug you, especially if you are out at night, particularly in the French quarters. I know I'm not making this shit up. Just get you some sea salt, put in a Ziploc bag, and anybody touch you, you wash your hands and you wash that area too. And when you go back to the room, or you go back home, or anywhere you have to walk inside of a building, make sure you turn around and you walk backwards, because the spirit don't like to face you. That way you keep it from entering with you. This is not story time. This is reality. Take heed to this warning.
Still to this day, I believe that my husband was voodoo when we was in New Orleans. So me and him went to New Orleans a few years back, and we was on Bourbon Street, and an incident occurred. But before I tell y'all incident, let me just tell y'all what was going on throughout that night. So as we was walking, we saw a lot of things, women topless, it was just things that people say that goes on in New Orleans, but then you get to experience it for yourself. So that particular night, we were out there drinking, and when I tell y'all, I have never been so intoxicated like that night. Well, I'll take that back, because I have been pretty intoxicated before. But so this woman comes up to my husband, well, my boyfriend at the time, and she was forcing the drinks. Like, they'll come and make you open your mouth and like just chug the drinks with their mouth. And I was just like, oh my goodness, I see and hear about this all the time. And then after that, she demanded like $40. She was like, $40. And my husband was like, first of all, you shoved that drink down my throat, blah, blah, blah. So we're not going to go into all that. But this is the scary part. Well, I won't say scary, but this is where it gets evil, okay? And you know, they say all different type of things about New Orleans. They say that it's deeply racial into witchcraft, voodoo, hoodooism, all those type of things. She was like, you stay out of it. She said, I want your man. I want him. And she was pointing at him, and I was just like, look, let me just pay for it. This will just all be gone away, okay? Well, my husband was still upset at that time, so he was just like, no. So when we was walking away, my husband turned around and looked at the woman, because the woman was like, kind of had this hideous laugh, but she was still angry, like, and mad. And he was like, she just did something like this. Like, it was like 2 fingers, and it was like this. And she was just like looking at him, shaking her head. Now, I'm not sure what could have happened. I'm really not sure what, is that a spell or what? But I promise you, at 3 o'clock that morning, he was throwing up sick, and he stopped throwing up 7 days later. He was throwing up the whole way home back to Mississippi, and he was not able to keep nothing down. He was just throwing up repeatedly. I took him to different hospitals. They was just like, nothing is wrong, and they will give him IV drips, and he'll be okay with the fluid. But soon as they took the IV out, he was just back. Blah, blah. I'm talking about, he was just throwing up so much. Make a long story short, it was literally 7 days after he stopped finished throwing up. So y'all tell me, what do y'all think about that New Orleans story?
Look, I don't know if it's just my timeline or what the fuck going on, but I keep seeing a lot of videos of motherfuckers who not from Louisiana going to New Orleans, playing on the back streets back there in Bourbon and shit, and going to looking for the vampires and shit, and going to Marie Laveau house and shit like that. I don't know what the fuck wrong with y'all, but y'all better chill out. That's all I got to say. Like, that shit real. I'm telling you, that shit is real. Wanna know why I know it's real? Cause boom, my little partners from New Orleans was telling me about Marie Laveau. I never knew who she was at first until they told me. So boom, I started watching shit on it, finding out who she is, whatever. So boom, I used to stay in Slidell. I used to go to New Orleans a lot and be in the French quarters a lot. Let me tell you something, in the French quarters, on the muddy streets, not on Bourbon. You got to go away from Bourbon. But if you go further down Bourbon, you'll feel the same thing. So I took my ass to the Marie Laveau Voodoo house. let me tell you something. When I was in there, I felt some kind of way. Like I felt like something was on me, or I felt like something was going on. I don't know. I wanted to see though. I actually admire the lady. I don't do voodoo or nothing like that, but I actually admire the lady. So I wanted to see. So boom, I leave up out of there. Walking down the street, I forgot what street I was on. I don't know if it was this one. I don't know. I really don't know what street I was on. So I passed by a fucking dumpster. They got a Baphomet. If you know what a Baphomet is, that's all kind of devil shit. I passed by there. I see a fucking Baphomet. I'm walking this further down the street. I see a motherfucking bird in his head. This didn't happen until I left up out of there. It really be witchcraft. Just like when everybody was saying put the potatoes in the socks and sleep with the that's voodoo. All voodoo, not bad voodoo. That's voodoo. But that's really to cleanse your soul from the demons and the bad souls and shit like that. You really supposed to do that with that. So y'all better quit playing with that shit for real. Like I don't know if it's just my timeline or what, but y'all better quit fucking playing with that shit. And I'm from Louisiana. That's like me going to Florida to Miami and Little Haiti, or actually going to Haiti, asking them about bear samedi or Papa Legua or some shit. Like me going down there trying to see what Papa Legua or bear samedi. Hell nah, nigga. You leave that shit where it's at. The fuck you don't play with that shit like that. Y'all think this shit a game. It's not a fucking game, nigga. I'm from Louisiana, nigga. We don't play with this shit. And if you know anybody from New Orleans, they don't play with this shit. They don't go on no fucking ghost tours and going to the graveyard. Man, you can't get nobody from no fucking Louisiana to go to no fucking graveyard down there or no shit like that.
Thank you.
So I don't know if y'all see the video of the lady who was doing the videos from New Orleans, that basically saying that she ran into a vampire and nobody really believed her. So I'm gonna back her up. I don't know if I'm too deep off in TikTok streets, so y'all on the same street as me, but me and my cousin went to New Orleans for my birthday and her birthday of last year, and I felt like we ran into a vampire. And I also felt like the people that's from New Orleans know that there's vampires out there, because he was very persistent on telling us that we should stay on the French streets. All right, so let me get into it. When we first got in our first Uber going to our hotel when we landed in New Orleans, we had an Uber driver. And the Uber driver just kept telling us, like, stay on the front street, stay on the front street, stay on the front street. Do not go on any back end streets and just stay in the public eye. And at first we weren't really thinking nothing of it because, I mean, we tourists, like, who won't say that? It is what it is. But we end up going on Bourbon Street. And when we went on Bourbon Street, you realize what the front street is. The front streets are Canal, Bourbon Street. It's one road that leads you to all these different roads. I don't know what that road called, but to me that was a front street. Bourbon Street was a front street. Maybe that was Canal, I don't know. But either way I go, we end up having to take a back road to a restaurant that we had TikTok. We searched TikTok and we want to go to a 5-oyster restaurant. In the midst of us going to this restaurant, we had a boy walk up to us on this back road. Now, mind you, it's not a group of us. It's just me and my cousin. We are from Tampa, Florida. We don't know too much about New Orleans or whatever and whatever. This boy walk up to us and he like, matter of fact, come back for part 2 of this video, get long.
So y'all in and out of New Orleans, y'all don't know what's going on? So y'all, I'm from New York, but my whole family's from the Caribbean. So I have a lot of friends and family that's in New Orleans because it's very similar cultures. So I see a lot of people talking about the vampires in New Orleans, and I'm kind of shocked that people don't know about this. Y'all ain't know there's vampires in New Orleans? So yes, there are vampires in the French Quarter, Bourbon Street. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. So if you haven't watched all the other videos on TikTok, please do. Please go watch them. There's a reason why in the Quarter they don't play any bounce or, typical music that, you would hear in New Orleans. They're playing old school jazz and blues. That's what they like to hear. So be careful of those vampire bars and even those people that's playing in costume and role play. Some of them people is real. That's not a joke and that's not a game. Being that said, I see a lot of people talking about the New Orleans vampires, but what about the werewolf families? We ain't gonna talk about them? I don't want, New Orleans to come in my comments talking about I'm being too loud, but there's families of wolves, werewolves, shapeshifters. I'm confused why nobody talking about that. We obviously know there's witches. Everybody knows there's witches. Y'all starting to learn about the vampires and the vampire bars in Bourbon Street, but what about the werewolves? Who gonna start talking about that? I'm gonna leave the video right there. Y'all comment under. Let me know if you want me to do a part 2, but be careful if you're in New Orleans this year. Keep your eyes, your ears open, and especially don't be outside during witching hour if you're not about that life. Bye, y'all.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. That's not enough videos to tell you to keep your ass out of New Orleans. I don't know what to tell you, but all of a sudden, in the middle of me doing this videos, guys, it started raining. Don't y'all hear it? Maybe that's a sign. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe.